welcome back.
Yes, same to you.
What a weekend.
It was such a fun weekend.
I don't even know where to begin.
Friday night.
We went to that concert.
So
oh my God.
good. I was so surprised at how good it was.
That was the best fucking night of my life.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The energy that kid put off. We went and saw Youngblood.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd heard a few songs, but not like a huge super fan or anything.
Yeah,
but
not like Max.
you asked me to go and took me with you, and it was so fun.
Magical. Listen, it's been a really long time since I went wherever, like, there were so many trans people together. And just, like, did you see the person who was rocking that full-on Rainbow Bright costume?
The wings?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Amazing. It's just, like, so amazing to be home. Like,
yeah,
you know?
they looked so cool. There were so many cool people there. We met a great couple that let us sneak up and sit next to them.
Oh, yeah. We got free mezzanine seats.
Yes, we had great seats. We didn't have to stand. So, like, this old woman here, I got to sit during the concert. But, I mean, obviously we jammed out. But, like, because we're kind of shorter. Yeah. So, it was hard to see when we were down on the floor. Yeah.
So, the mezzanine, I'm like, I don't have to jump because the seats were bouncy. So
right, but
like,
it was
boing, boing, boing.
Yeah, and it's such a great venue.
Scream singing.
Even sitting up that high was good, right?
It's amazing.
Yeah, it was good.
Thank you so much for going with me.
Thank you for taking me.
Yeah.
That was great.
Oh my God. Next time that they come into town, we're doing it.
Yeah.
What else? How were you after that? How did you recover from that day?
Oh my gosh, I'm still recovering.
Yeah.
I'm still
Same.
so tired.
Same. I think my neck and my back are not in their right places yet.
I agree.
They need another day to get back to where they need to be.
Yeah. And I need to catch up on some sleep.
Yeah.
But now, I got home at I went to bed at like 3 a.m. and then got up, helped with baby and helped sister at her house. She's moving, and I just been on the go. So I'm ready for a nap.
Yeah. I was not recovered, but I went out Saturday anyways.
Yeah.
So it was a friend's birthday, and we had a really fun game night.
I love game nights.
Yeah,
They're the best.
It was awesome. And they're like a little bit obscure games too. Like we played Exploding Kittens, and then we played this other game that's like your little pawns on a board and you're outrunning the Grim Reaper. It's like a trivia game, and if you get it wrong, you go away. If you get it right, the Grim Reaper comes towards your pawn, and whoever gets touched by the Grim Reaper dies. It was awesome.
Oh, fun.
It's called Stupid Deaths. That's what it is, Stupid Deaths.
I love trivia.
It was you would love this game. It was really fun.
I'll have to look it up.
And then today I went to go to a matinee. I saw the new Jackass movie.
Yes, I'm so jealous.
It's worth it.
Is it?
It's so worth it. They're too old to be doing this bullshit.
I know, and I just love watching the stupid shit they do and laughing.
I mean, I've never had testicles, to abuse. And I think that's what makes it so fucking funny is watching these grown men just abuse their genitals. And I have no idea what that feels like.
No.
I don't know how much that hurts. And that's why it's so fucking funny.
Oh, I know. Some of the shit that they come up with, it's so gross. No, don't.
It's the worst.
I gotta wait. Yeah, I'll see it soon. Right on. So you had a great weekend.
I did. I'm still not fully recovered, but, say la vie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sleep is for the weak,
Right. We'll sleep when we're dead.
Exactly. Exactly. So, housekeeping, eh?
Yeah, let's do some.
Okay. Well, everyone, we have merch in our Teespring store.
Yes.
Yeah. So we have sweatshirts and what?
We have sweatshirt. We have 3 different sweatshirts. We have a T-shirt and 2 coffee cups right now, and we're going to be getting some more. I'm working on some, trying to get some new designs and stuff going. And, the link is on our Instagram account.
Mm-hmm. In the bio, right?
In the bio. Mm-hmm. So if you go to our Instagram, you can click on there and go in and help support the show.
Get some swag.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm rocking my hoodie right now. I haven't really taken it off since I got it, except for the Youngblood concert.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
Today,
it's covered in dog hair and crumbs. And
I had baby throw up on both shoulders.
Oh, man.
So I was like, I guess it's time to wash it.
Yeah. That's fair. Also, Oh, new sticker design coming soon.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not going to spoil it. But listen, everyone, you can still get free stickers by sending in your dating stories.
Yes. Send them to us at the whateverijdm@gmail.com.
Yes.
And we'll read them. We don't have to use your name if you want to stay anonymous.
Yeah.
But we really would. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'd really love to hear just any kind of good stories you guys got.
Tell me about the worst date you've ever been on.
Ever.
Or the best. I mean, whatever you're feeling.
Yeah.
Here. Yeah. And thank you gifts were sent out today.
Yes.
Yeah, so for our Patreons.
Yes.
Thank you so very much.
So much. We'd like to say thank you to Ed and Nikki.
Yeah, Ed and Nikki.
And
Curious Elixirs.
And Curious Elixirs, which are fantastic, you guys. Non-alcoholic beverages that
Perfect
you
for
can
game
drink
nights.
straight from the bottle. You can throw it in a fancy glass on some ice with some garnishments.
Yeah.
You can add mixers. They're
on the rocks.
Yep, they're delicious.
You can mix the bottles if you want. Yeah.
Try them out, you guys. You can use a code and get some money off.
I agree. Yeah. I can't wait to try more of their flavors.
Yeah.
Anyway, patrons, thank you so much. We have sent out your thank you gifts today. But since it's Sunday, the mailman will send them tomorrow. But so keep your eyes open for your thank you presents. We just love you so fucking.
Oh, we're gonna change the release date of our podcast to Tuesdays, so that our Patreons, if you want to listen to it on Sunday night, Monday morning, still. Then just go ahead and join the Patreon club.
Treat thyself.
That's right.
Yes. All right. I'm so glad that we're back. So this week.
Yes.
Do you want to know what my topic is?
I do.
We've talked about it a bit, and I finally decided to do it.
Okay.
This week I'm covering sologamy. Sologamy.
The epitome of dating yourself.
Exactly.
This is taking dating yourself to the extreme.
Yes.
Right?
This is committing to yourself. Okay. So for those who aren't, familiar with sologamy, sologamy is a Latin term. The Greek term is autogamy, also referred to as self-marriage. And it's a rising trend that aims to reaffirm one's own value, and it focuses on self-love. Preach, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Appreciation and commitment to oneself. Woo! That's what we're all about.
I like it. I get it.
So this style of marriage or partnering can be declared without an officiant. So save some bucks. Just marry yourself. Right?
Okay.
Also, on a side note, I'm not sure. It's not legally.
I was just going to ask you.
You can't officiate something that isn't official. Anyway.
Right.
That's fine, though. So Vice magazine describes sologamy as, quote, embracing the pomp and circumstance of marriage and wedding culture while rejecting the tyranny of coupledom, unquote.
So basically, it's people who want to have a wedding but don't want to get actually married. Mm-hmm. So they throw a party and a wedding for themselves?
Absolutely. Yep.
That's what
one
it
of the
is?
reasons people do it.
Okay.
So if you think about it, from the time that you were a child, you think about your wedding.
Oh, of course.
You spend your whole adolescence, thinking about, what
your
flowers and your dress and your song and who you would invite. And
where it's going to be.
Oh, yeah.
Destination wedding.
Yeah, right.
Country farm. Yeah. You everybody has that picture of their ultimate wedding.
Exactly.
In their head.
So one of the reasons people do that is you know what? This is my time and it's for me. I'm going to make it happen.
Okay.
Some other reasons why people do this are if they've gone through a trauma or something really hard and they're kind of just finding themselves. For some people, it's an act of committing to yourself, kind of after having lost yourself.
Okay.
I appreciate me more than anybody else could. This is for me.
Showing your true self-love.
Self-love. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's beautiful.
I like it.
Yay. So for this topic, I read 7 or 8 things because the internet had so much to say about it. So The Sun magazine begins its article on sologamy by asking this provocative question. Can you imagine dating the rest of your life to one person? I don't know if I could. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Mm.
What if that person was you?
Yes.
You know what? If I can't commit my life to me, I can't expect myself to commit to anybody else. It's a good question, right?
Yeah.
So how did this begin? Listen, 1993.
Really?
So this isn't as recent as we want to think that it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in 1993, a woman named Linda Baker was apparently the first person to marry herself in the United States. It was a celebration of her 40th birthday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right?
Right.
Yeah. So she wanted to celebrate something at that time in her life, and she felt like a marriage ceremony was the way to do it. Why the fuck not, you know?
Mm-hmm.
She was a dental hygienist from Los Angeles. And she decided one day she was just like tired of waiting for all the chain of events that lead up to like eventually getting a taste of wedding cake. That is literally what she said. She wanted a wedding cake, right?
Okay.
And she's like, I'm going to take it into my own hands.
Fuck a birthday cake. I'm getting a wedding cake.
Yeah, exactly. So she invited 75 of her super best friends to watch her walk down a makeshift aisle that ran alongside a bar in Santa Monica.
Okay.
Right? Then, by the power invested in her actor friend Ron Cummins, she took herself to be her own lovely wedded person.
Oh.
Fuck yes! And then she got her wedding cake.
Nice. And then she partied.
Partied hard.
Yeah.
Next to the bar, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. She pledged to be good to herself, and that was witnessed by 7 bridesmaids, family, and friends. Linda explained, this is all about doing things for yourself and not waiting around for somebody else to make it happen.
I like it.
Treat thy fucking self.
Yeah.
You want a wedding? Go have a
fucking wedding.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love this.
It's amazing, right?
I thought it was
so
going to be
inside.
like, oh, these poor people. They're so, so
That
sad.
Is one of the perspectives
yes.
of it. Yes.
Yeah, but it's not. It's a celebration of love. Self-love.
You're going to be blown away.
Okay.
Listen. Oh my. So when I say the internet had a lot to say, there are a lot of different opinions about this, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to, start with the good stuff, but there are a lot of negative points people bring up about this. So we'll get there. Yeah. The next time that it was recorded, somebody married themselves, was in 2003. So what's that? 10 years later?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Yes. I was literally in my head going,
8, 9, 10.
Okay.
So 30-year-old artist Jennifer Hose of the Netherlands engaged in self-marriage ritual, drawing inspiration from that episode of Sex and the City where Carrie Bradshaw announced that she was going to marry herself.
Oh.
And that episode was filmed and aired that same year.
Okay.
So she saw the episode and was like, I love that. I'm going to do that.
Do it.
And then did it and made it fucking happen. 2014, another popular instance of self-marriage was the experience of Sasha Kagan. She's now, after all that, the author of a book called Quirky Alone, a manifesto for uncompromising romantics.
Oh.
She's also a successful life coach, and she pledged uncompromising devotion to herself during a self-wedding in Buenos Aires.
I love it.
Yeah. She insists that her self-marriage wasn't about celibacy. It wasn't about giving up on dating. Instead, it was an attempt to quell an inner voice that said she would never be truly fulfilled without a man.
Yes.
Good point, right?
I like it.
Quote, for me, it was about feeling enough on my own, unquote. So she wrote a book about that, which is called The Quirky Alone. And then I think later on went on to become a life coach.
Okay.
So from that experience, she really did learn to love herself and get empowered and changed her life.
Right.
Yeah. So the book and Sasha's perspective on self-love isn't described as being something asexual or aromantic per se. So she's not anti-relationship.
Mm-hmm.
She's not anti-sex or anti-institutionalist or in any way rebellious. And those sometimes are concepts that are used by critics to describe the despair that goes into marrying yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I completely relate to her because I feel like I'm not anti-sex or I'm not anti-romantic, but you know what? I'm fucking fine alone. I am fine. I'm not willing to settle, and I am not willing to just be like, well, I just, society says I should be in a relationship, so I should just probably pick somebody I'm getting up there in age, right?
I like this person, so I guess I'll have sex with them when I'm in a relationship.
Yep. I guess I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I know what I want, and I'm not going to settle.
You're going to get it. And I love that you said that because
Thank
that's
you.
fucking exactly what she said.
Good.
She said, I'm not anti-relationship. I'm not anti-sex. It's that I'm anti-unfulfilling, joyless relationships and anti-being in a relationship because people say you should be.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. That is exactly how I feel.
Hell yeah. Kagan described the ritual of planning and executing her wedding in this way. By adopting all the elements, the dress, the flowers, the cake, the ring, having the family. All of these things helped her realize and keep the promises that she'd secretly been keeping to herself her entire life since girlhood.
I love it.
Right?
Yeah.
I totally feel that. Sometimes I make deals with the universe that if I get to this point, then I will do this thing.
Yes.
That's how I fucking got my car. if I get to grad school, I'll get a new car.
Nice. Yeah,
So
I love that. Yeah.
And like,
in a way, it's kind of like that you're setting goals for yourself. And, you know, you can say the universe is the one that, you know, you're holding yourself responsible to the universe.
Yeah. The universe has a way of kind of like creating the environment that I can reach my goals. Yes. Then it's my turn to keep my promise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway. And that's kind of, I think,
but the promise you're making is to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, yes, you're saying, I'll do this if I get, you know, I'll get this if I do this.
Yeah.
But you're making promises to yourself.
Yeah.
And you're keeping them.
Yep, exactly.
And that is so important, you know.
Can you think of all the times you were growing up and you were like, you know, saw a wedding dress like in a window or in a magazine. You're like, oh, I want one like that someday. I think
that's princess where she bed?
Yeah. Oh my God. Tell everyone about the princess bed right now. Tell everybody.
So I'm going to be staying with my daughter for a little while, helping out with the baby. And so I was like, maybe I'll just get a small twin bed to put in the room because it's not huge. Yeah. And then I'm online looking for beds and I see this bed that is like a princess carriage and it has wheels in it, like, you know, the whole cage on top and stuff. And like it's not Cinderella pumpkin carriage. It looks like, God. In my head, I've always wanted, when I was growing up, a fancy bed. We didn't have the money for that. And so in my head, I'm like, I'm going to get this bed because then I can sleep in this princess bed. But what I'll do is I'll say it's for the baby for when she gets older. That way they won't have to worry about buying her a bed. And I'll get to sleep in a princess bed.
I love it so much.
So I'm going to get a princess carriage bed.
Your princess bed. I'm so happy
and
for
I
you.
don't care what people think about me sleeping in a fucking princess bed.
I can't think of a single person who wouldn't be like, wow, that's a fucking awesome bed.
My daughter. Like, she's like, I'll make fun of you if you sleep in that. And I'm like, cool. Listen. I'm sleeping in it. Right?
I'm so proud of you. Because at a certain point in life, you're like, I want this. And now I'm the adult. I have to do it now, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I can if I want to.
Listen, I can't wait to see your princess bed.
Thank you.
I will give you princess bed pillowcases.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll take them.
Yeah. Maybe even like a doll or something. I don't know. Whatever works. We'll figure it out.
Not a creepy doll.
No, not Robert the doll. God damn it.
No.
I shouldn't have said it. Okay. Clarifying question. Did you or do you imagine your dream wedding as like a kid or a teen?
Oh, absolutely.
Do you still, even after having had one, do you ever?
No, not anymore. But for years, yes. I was like, if I could do it over. I mean, I had a really nice wedding. It wasn't like my dream wedding, but it was beautiful. And for a while after, of course, you dream about getting married again and stuff. But now I'm like, gosh, weddings are such a waste of money. Yeah. Elope.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Get the paperwork done and then
But I also understand wanting to waste that money and having that beautiful day because it is tradition. Yeah. It is.
It's more important to some families than other families.
It is, yeah.
You know what I was thinking the other day? Remember when we were talking about like $7,000 wedding ring diamonds? I was thinking, what kind of a honeymoon could you have?
Yes.
If a wedding ring costs like $150.
Yep.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah. Yeah. You could have and then you'd have all those memories and experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
To each their own. We're not shaming anybody who wants to, have that $10,000 fancy wedding.
Exactly. Treat thyself.
Yeah.
That's your thing.
And do what your dreams
go big or go
are.
Home, definitely go big.
But I will say it is a waste of money.
Yeah. I mean,
I did it once. So, I can say that. But
I would say listen, this is going to sound crazy, but I was engaged once.
Yeah.
I was still in high school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it was like a high school engagement. But, and it lasted like 6 months and then we broke up or whatever. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. We just thought we were so cool that we were engaged in high school.
That's so funny.
And I remember like, even then I had an inkling that I wasn't going to do the white dress and all the girly stuff. I still we weren't necessarily planning it because we were going to wait till we were 18 and get away from our parents and do the whole thing.
Yeah.
But even then I knew that the traditional wasn't going to work for me.
It wasn't, yeah.
So I haven't, really thought about marriage or anything since then. But I would have to say my wedding and also my funeral, I'm just going to get the people that I love together, have a barbecue, listen to our favorite music, dance around.
Yeah.
Maybe do a hike or something, but mostly the barbecue thing. Food brings people together, and I think that is the most worthwhile.
That's the best part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Let's do like a fun
like
picnic out in the park, you know?
Yep.
Yeah. Funeral too. Listen, at my funeral, y'all's better be dancing.
And partying.
Yes. And eating good food.
And telling funny
jokes,
stories.
Funny stories, yep. Picking on each other, giving noogies, all of it.
Yes.
I don't want a single tear. Okay. So since 1993, we see like this rise in people not just loving themselves, but marrying themselves in not quite a legal way, but people want to act like it is legal.
Yeah.
Social scientists are like, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going to look into that a bit. So there's social scientific study about this trend.
Okay.
So social scientists have researched this like a little bit because it is still kind of new. And there's not a lot of literature that like social scientists have to refer back to, which is really important in research. You have to cite stuff that's already been published, or else you look like you're not legit, right?
Yeah.
So that is a difficult thing about trying to research a new trend. So they mostly have to rely on people's personal accounts, or social media representations, which are way more abundant,
right?
And they have attributed what they term as temporal ownership to women's interest and satisfaction with their self-marriages. So there are 3 ways in which a self-marriage allows women a greater feeling of control over their lives. This is what they've concluded through their experience and people's stories and the little bit of literature that there is. Temporal ownership. Okay. So this means that there are 3 ways in which self-marriage allows women a greater feeling of control over their lives, both in their present and in their future, which is often overlooked in single women because future, quote, is often comprised of starting a family, and everything else is usually discredited if that's not what it is.
Right.
So in a sense, a woman's future isn't really her own. It's everybody else's, right?
Yes.
So temporal ownership means that your time is now yours, both now and both in the future.
I get that.
Yeah. So here's a quote from an article that I read. Our account of temporal ownership is threefold. We analyze self-marriage as a declaration about non-waiting and the creation of a present continuous temporality. So present continuous, that is something that I learned in language school. That's a tense of speaking. So present continuous tense is like am blanking, I am sitting, which means right now. It's continuously happening right now.
Right.
And so I guess the best way to describe that in a non-language sense is there. Temporal, meaning time and action.
Yes. Right? Yeah.
So this discussion leads us to a broader contribution to this sociological literature. In particular, we use self-marriage as a case study with which to flesh out the utility of thinking about wellness culture and certain aspects of neoliberalism through a temporal lens, meaning how are people different if they feel like they have ownership over that? Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
And that's kind of how they were trying to study self-marriage, right?
Okay.
So since then, there have been increasing reports of single women. It seems to be like much more women than men. Not a surprise.
I was going to ask you, is there any documented cases of men marrying themselves?
I couldn't find any. There are some, but I didn't find any. They probably aren't like all over Facebook. Like, you know what I mean? So more women than men marrying themselves in the UK, United States, Australia, Canada, the Netherlands, Taiwan. And sologamy is not recognized in Europe or the US as a legally binding union. But like the point of it isn't to get the marriage to get like tax breaks. The point of it is to prove that you're putting yourself first. So the fact that it's not legally binding really doesn't stop anyone. Right. That's like never been a hang up. Yeah, exactly. It's not the point.
Right.
It'd be a nice bonus, but it's not the point.
It's not the point.
Yeah. So that has not stopped self-wedding coaches, quote, from creating an entire industry around this new trend.
Really?
Really, really. Welcome to the billion-dollar self-wedding industry.
Wow.
It ballooned up. Yeah. So it doesn't matter that it's not legally binding. People are still willing to pay the same price.
Yeah.
Right? Or less. There are also ways to spend less and still get the wedding, but...
Yep.
So that's
now a job. You're paying for one person instead of two. You literally can be
somebody's self-wedding planner.
Yeah.
Now.
Okay.
Yeah. Listen,
ooh, did I just find my new calling in life?
What are we doing with our lives?
Right.
So here's a quick story it's about a company called Circa Travel. And it's a wedding company based in Tokyo where sologamy has been on the rise.
Okay.
So, quote, Yukiko Inoue has been running Circa Travel for 10 years. She is a 48-year-old divorcee whose main business is to arrange packages for Japanese women who want to travel alone in Europe and feel safe. 2 years ago, so in 2014 at the time this article was written.
Okay.
Her colleague, 37-year-old Natsumi Akai, expressed interest in having her photos taken professionally in a wedding dress, and the solo wedding industry was born then in Japan.
Wow.
Since then, 133 Japanese women have paid Circa Travel about 2,500 pounds or 380,000 yen. I don't know what those are in American money. For a 2-day package. And this package includes a dress fitting, hair done, makeup done, nails, a photo shoot. In short, everything except the actual ceremony.
Oh, okay. So it's like having wedding photos taken.
A wedding day. Like, I'll give you everything that you've wanted to experience without the actual wedding.
Okay.
Just dress up and feel pretty for a day.
Sure.
You can be the most beautiful you that you've ever been on one day.
Yeah.
I can make that happen.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Circa
that makes
Travel.
Sense.
Another really fun thing that I found, speaking of diamonds, there's an online wedding retailer called, quote, I Married Me.
Okay.
And they offer wedding rings for purchase between $25 and $300.
Oh, I like it.
And I wrote, like, in caps and not in parentheses, treat thyself to not diamonds.
I love it.
The main consumers of this trend have been observed to be straight women between the ages of 25 and 50. That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
So Kagan commended to Vice, while queer people and men would likely benefit from self-actualization ceremonies, most of the participants in her workshops that she holds have been straight women.
Yeah.
Quote, I think LGBTQ people would benefit in the same ways from self-marriage, especially to heal from trauma, abuse, or internalized homophobia. But they haven't faced the same pressure to marry as a single straight woman, so I don't see quite the same resonance as a trend.
Yeah.
She has a point, kind of.
Yes.
There's something that I'll add here in a few minutes, like a little bit more context to that. But she has somewhat of a point.
Yes.
Yes.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so I read that, and then I was like, well, now I kind of want to see if the queer community has any, like, news about this.
Yeah.
So I found a queer news site called Quirky, and they did cover this topic.
Okay.
Not a lot. They seem to not care that much about it. But
yeah.
So they covered this topic briefly, and they offered little insight from a queer perspective. One commenter on the article that I read, user Throws Like a Girl, commented, if there was some sound legal and financial reasons for this, I'd be on board. As it is, it seems like something that somebody can do on their own, much like coming out.
Yeah.
Sure. Most everybody else, there were like 50 comments. Most everybody else commented things along the lines of, A, why is this on a queer news site?
Oh.
This is obviously some kind of like a straight woman trend. And B, it's actually really sad that straight women marry themselves in order to feel the self-acceptance that they desire.
Aww.
Let me give you some context here.
Okay.
Okay, I want to add something. Welcome to gay life, though.
Yeah.
Okay? It's almost like the queer people do, in fact, understand, like, the struggle and the inner conflict of not being able to accept yourself because something about you isn't the way that you're supposed to be portrayed in life around you.
Sure.
Right? So that's the small thing, I think. The roots of the conflict are different, but it's the same kind of
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. So obviously, sexuality and identity, those are very personal, and they vary very much individually. But they're both stigmatized by our environment. So there is, and there has been until recently, a typical, quote, and an atypical, quote, view of what sexuality, gender, and identity looks like, or what it should look like in order to fit the socially acceptable norm.
Right.
Accepting yourself after spending a long time fighting like an inner war like that, between who you really are and what you really want versus what society thinks you are or what people want from you, I kind of get why that's difficult. So this seems to be where straight women are also feeling under pressure because for so long, a straight woman's identity has been linked to having a husband.
Yes.
And having a family.
Yeah.
And getting married. So this is like not the same thing, but I think the inner conflict is similar.
It is. Yeah. So I feel like that was kind of a snarky comment.
It was.
Where it should have been like a little more empathetic.
Yeah, I was
like
surprised
because
it wasn't just one person who felt that way. It was most of the comments were like,
kind of snarky.
How does it feel? Right.
You know, instead of being understanding,
might have been a less angry way to explain that.
Yeah,
but, you know, that's what I'm here for. You know what I'm saying? I want to like have people understand both sides of it if I can.
Yep.
So as we were saying, straight women for so long, their identity has been publicly linked to having a husband.
Yep.
Hence the word spinster. right? There's something like, quote, shameful or sad about being single and middle-aged, but only if you're a woman. Because if you're a man, like a manly cisgender man, you're still a stud. You're a stud.
Yes.
You're rocking it. You're killing it if you're
the pressures that are put on women to, like, if you look at Jennifer Aniston, you know, women to get married and have babies. And if we don't do that as straight women, there must be something wrong with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why can't we just choose to...
It's not that you don't want that. It's that men must not want you.
Right.
Right?
There's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Yes. Or, maybe you're, like, infertile. Something must be wrong with you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How about, I just don't want to fucking have kids?
Same. Right
here. I mean...
I don't like them.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
If a guy goes through his life without wanting a family and children, there's not a lot of judgment there.
Exactly.
It's like,
they're expected to put that much like value into their career.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. It's just such a double standard.
It really is.
Anyway.
It really is. I could see maybe how the outside pressures could be a small way for sologamists and the queer community to find common ground. But most of me does disagree. Commenters on Queerty were actually really pissed off that it was on a queer news site, considering that it didn't even mention this concept from a queer point of view, and it also didn't say anything about queer people's experiences with sologamy. So I kind of
I get that.
Like, why
are we talking about this if we're talking? Okay, I get that.
Yeah. So, on a side note, there are harsh criticisms about sologamy. What do you think they are? Just guess. What's one do you think?
Oh, I think people probably think they're stupid.
Okay.
For one.
Yeah. Wasteful. Waste
of money, waste of time.
Not legally binding. So what's the point?
So what's the point? Yep.
Okay. Yeah, those are really good guesses. So I think I put down 3 of the biggest ones that I found, although...
Okay.
Yeah, I did. Although there are quite a few. But number 1, one of the critiques is that marrying oneself is narcissistic. People get pretty mad that people want to marry themselves.
Okay.
It's a trend that it's the outcome of, quote, an entitled generation's need for attention and the need to feel special and rewarded. I found that on the internet.
Okay.
In fact, I found that on a religious website.
I was going to say, but here's my thing with that saying. Who the fuck doesn't want to feel special and rewarded?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, what is wrong with that? Why the fuck do you
care what I'm feeling?
Whether you're a narcissist, an empath, just trying to make it through a day to day, it doesn't. Who the fuck doesn't want to feel special?
I'm not gonna lie, I like having attention sometimes.
So I feel like that religious statement is really fucking selfish.
Yeah,
But okay. Anyway,
it's ironic that I found it on a religious website because I didn't even realize at first till I got to the bottom of the page that that's when they're like, look at such and such verse to find out why this isn't great. Okay. But that's one of them. And so that particular quote was from a religious website, but there are other non-religious, just like news sites that also agree that it's narcissistic.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If you want to be like the center of your own attention and everybody else's attention, that's super selfish or whatever.
But if you have somebody standing next to you at the altar, it's not?
No, it's not. Especially there, man.
So fucking
it's way better
confused,
that way.
But okay.
I know.
I feel like this is just such common sense, but whatever. Okay.
Yeah. It's a tit for tat thing.
Yeah.
So a counter argument, this question, why don't we view traditional marriages with the same kind of contempt?
Yes.
Why aren't regular marriages viewed as narcissistic? Just you were literally getting there.
Yeah.
Especially considering that a traditional wedding contains the same elements of a sologamous wedding, but larger scale. It costs much more. It's exclusive. Is often surrounded in a red tape motherfucking spiderweb of proper etiquettes and unspoken rules. Like, no one else can wear white or whatever. Sometimes they're like, no kids or fucking whatever. And there's always a huge thing about...
no significant others. Only certain family members can... Yeah.
There's always a huge thing about the menu. You know what I'm saying? And everybody that attends is expected to contribute either a gift or money to the couple getting married.
Yes.
Yet, a small-scale individual celebration of one's own self-love is being called narcissistic.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, hello.
What is
just because you have it. So
appreciating yourself.
There's 2 narcissists standing up there if there's, right? Because that's what it would mean to me.
Okay. Okay.
If you're saying I'm narcissistic for wanting to marry myself or just celebrate me loving myself and I want to have a party for it,
then what do you call two people up there?
My money doing that. Yeah. Then if you have two people up there, you have two narcissists.
Spending everyone else's money, they must be narcissists too.
Right.
Yeah.
Even more so. You're spending your parents' hard-earned money, right?
Yeah. I love it. I love it. This is amazing. It's amazing that I got so annoyed reading about this.
I'm getting so annoyed.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm just like, what? Oh, fuck that.
Why people gotta rain on everyone's parade, you know?
Just let people be fucking happy.
Just let people marry themselves.
Gosh.
People made the biggest fucking stink about gays getting married.
Right.
And now...
It's all about...
Now they're mad that people want to just marry themselves.
And here's the thing. Just because you're saying, oh, they're marrying themselves, you're just having a fucking celebration and a party of your love.
Exactly.
That you are okay alone.
Yeah.
That you're not taking the pressures that society is putting on you and fucking settling for some asshole to treat you like shit.
Yeah.
Wouldn't, like, as a mother, I would rather my daughter be happy alone than fucking miserable with someone.
I agree.
Because society says that's how she should be.
Because society's like, I'm going to make it really hard for you to be single.
Right. In my head...
If you want to be rich, you need to find somebody.
Yeah. Yep. As a woman, go find a rich man. He'll take care of you.
Yeah.
You know what? Cher said it best. She said, one time her mom sat her down and said... Honey, you need to find a rich man to take care of you. And she said, Mom, I am a rich man.
Oh my God, that just made my life.
I was like, yes.
Wow.
Yes, that's right. We can all just be our own fucking rich men.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
No, I love that.
I went on a
tangent.
tangent.
For talking about because I found this at work and was getting so annoyed and had nobody to talk to about it. So I love that we can finally get this out.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
good.
I was like over
so
my
much
laptop,
better
like
than
grumbling to myself. I'm like, getting all mad. Yeah. So number 2. Another critique is that self-marriage inadvertently perpetuates the age-old stereotype that single older women are unhappy. Listen, look at this. Capital letters. Do you see this? Tracee, tear this bullshit apart.
I love you.
Oh my God.
Okay, wait. Read it again. Not that part. Okay. Read the beginning.
Self-marriage inadvertently perpetuates the age-old stereotype that older single women are unhappy. Tell us the truth. How do you feel about that statement?
Did they not hear any of the reasons why sologamy exists? Yeah. It's because you fucking are celebrating the fact that you're okay.
I'm wondering if they've never listened to our podcast.
Right? Fucking people.
I wish you could see Tracee. She's rubbing,
like I feel like I'm going to start sweating and being like, who said this?
Listen, somebody flipped the migraine switch and I'm done.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. What the fuck?
So there's the idea that something about getting married and starting a family and buying a home, etc., white picket fence, all of that will magically solve whatever material issues that women have. Yeah. It'll give them purpose, quote unquote. Mm-hmm. And then everybody will be happier because that basically is going to fill a need that is specific to women. Mm-hmm. That's the idea here.
Right.
So comments on internet forums describe sologamist weddings as the saddest thing they've ever heard of and inconceivably desperate. I disagree.
I highly disagree.
100 and 200% disagree.
Listen, when we went in, when you told me this was your topic, I was like, oh, these poor people. Like, but once you explain, like, it's literally like,
just need a little more context.
Yes.
Understand, like, why people do. They're not forced to marry themselves.
No.
They want to because
and they're
they
just
want to.
Having a fucking party.
Yeah. Comments on the internet describe sologamous weddings the saddest thing they've ever heard of and inconceivably desperate. Although maybe that's the case for some. Some really interesting things I found, like recently when I was reading that Psychological Perspectives on Gender textbook, there were some things that I remembered when I was reading this stuff about sologamy. So, research shows that married couples who are happily married have lower rates of depression and anxiety. Mm-hmm. However, those statistics change among gender lines. Children with kids are more likely than their husbands to experience periods of depression and anxiety. than their husbands, really, like at that time where they're experiencing it, and also just generally in their marriage.
Right.
Right? So, in fact, the highest rates of depression and anxiety among single people have been shown among cisgender men, according to psychological perspectives of gender, right? However, we often overlook the fact that happens because in men, the symptoms of anxiety and depression manifest differently. They manifest their symptoms in actions, such as drinking heavily, partying, going out, engaging in risky sexual behaviors, acting impulsively or aggressively, taking recreational drugs, or engaging in other numbing behaviors. And people see that and they're like, man, that guy is having the time of his life. What a stud.
No,
right?
Inside, he's fucking miserable.
Yeah, exactly. That's pain.
Yes.
That's hurt, you know? Yep. It's just like putting Band-Aids. Yeah. Women's symptoms manifest often as involuntary behaviors like crying, sleeplessness, or like the psychosomatic responses to triggers such as shaking, hyperventilation, increased risk of illness like common colds and flu due to lack of self-care.
Okay.
And another thing, acting impulsively it is a response to depression, anxiety, but when that's experienced by women, the language representing that changes to erratic behavior, explosive behavior,
she's going
hysteria,
crazy,
uncontrollable blah blah mood swings, right? So when somebody says people who marry themselves is the saddest thing I've ever heard, research shows that married people are more sad, and also single people are also sad, right? But like, question, why do you think somebody is sad? Because we just learned that men who seem to be having the time of their lives are like at a greater risk for depression and anxiety. Yes. Yeah. It just manifests differently. Yeah. Right? Okay. So I wanted to blow a hole in that. Okay. And here's the third critique. The goal of self-marriage is to kind of like dismantle the industrial wedding complex, right? In the way that it sort of has become central to the idea of adulthood. And people are like, I don't want that to be the center of my moving forward in life, right? I don't want that to be my marker of success. So here's the critique. By marketing and profiting off the viral trend of solo weddings, consumers are actually reifying the importance of weddings. I can't say that I disagree. That's a really good point.
Same.
Because you're still having the wedding be an important milestone of your life, right?
Yeah, I do agree with that.
Yeah. So author Bella DePaulo, who wrote the book Singled Out, How Singles Are Stereotyped, Stigmatized, and Ignored, and Still Live Happily Ever After. Sounds like an amazing book.
I need to read that.
Yeah. Believes that single people are still depicted as like tortured loners. She doesn't see self-marriage as a culture-jamming intervention to the wedding industrial complex. Instead, she thinks that in somebody's embrace of like the pomp and the circumstance of a traditional wedding ceremony, sologamists end up tacitly endorsing wedding institution. By using the wedding ritual as a template, people who are self-marrying, they're just reinforcing the power of the traditional wedding when what they're trying to do is resist that power. Yeah. And that was in an interview.
But here's where I'm gonna put another side to it. We are raised as women, we already just said this at the beginning, to want that fancy wedding. Since you're a little girl, you dream about that wedding. It's ingrained in us. And until that becomes not a thing.
Until you tell little girls they can do whatever they want, be whoever they are, and support them
with
no
or
matter
without
what they
do. Men, you don't have to have a... Weddings, I think, are just... the actual wedding ceremony is always going to be a thing, right? So it's tradition, and that is ingrained in us as young women. It just is. So that's where that's coming from. Until that is taken out of our societal like expectations, we're always going to want that fancy day. We're always going to want that day where we look beautiful, people are celebrating our love, and you know, we're in a white dress and eating a a fancy cake. We're always going to want that. So I get what she's saying, but I don't think that's going to change, That's just ingrained in us that we...
I don't think it's going to change either, considering that it's like such a huge part of American culture. And it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. So like, it's not going to change.
No.
But I love that people are standing up against it in whatever way they feel is right. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even think of that, though. That is a good point. By having a sologamous wedding, it's still a wedding. I didn't even think about that till I read it. but it still is like, you know,
it's because
fuck the patriarchy.
Yes.
It's like, if I'm going to spend the money, I'm doing it for me.
Yeah.
You know? So despite these harsh criticisms, sologamists are satisfied with their experiences and they always stand behind their decisions.
Oh, nice.
Here are some pros of sologamist long-term partnerships.
Okay.
And I got this from another article, and then I was laughing by myself at my laptop at work. Right?
Oh, right on.
Okay. Number 1, you get to sleep on the entire bed.
Yep.
Always.
Yep.
All the pillows or no pillows. All the blankets or none. You can hog the blankets if you want.
It's all yours.
All yours. Listen, princess bed.
Yep.
You don't have to check in with anyone, and you can always do whatever the fuck you want.
Yes.
Yes!
Yes.
God, I love that.
Yep.
Yep. Listen, my partner is amazing, but I at this point just tell them that I'm doing things.
Yes.
Instead of checking in.
Right.
Like, I'm going to a concert. You want to go? You don't want to go? Okay.
Okay.
I love you. I'm
Have
going.
a good night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. You can focus on your own personal desires or career goals.
Yep.
This is really, really important because generally women are not encouraged to put their career first.
No.
And even if they do, even if somehow a woman like scratches and kicks and claws enough to make it to the glass ceiling.
Yes.
Research shows that women are still punished for being women.
Yep.
Such as there's the assumption that someday you're going to have kids.
Yep. And then it's going to ruin your career. You're going to have to take time off.
And women are paid less because their work is valued less.
Yeah.
So it's important just to remember, like, do you. It's not going to be easy, but keep doing it because you can.
Yes.
Here's another one. You can spend the wedding money on 100% whatever the fuck you want. I read Reddit, and there's always either a Today I Fucked Up subreddit or an Am I the Asshole Reddit. There are always wedding ones.
Right on.
About the menu.
Yeah.
Or somebody's mother-in-law wore white and got kicked out.
Doesn't want to.
Or
wants to plan the party, but doesn't want to do it your way.
Yeah. That stresses me the fuck out. Like, listen, I've really only ever read the horror stories of weddings. I've obviously don't go to weddings and see how beautiful they are. Stresses me the fuck out to think that families just sit there and fight about, like, what color the frosting is.
Yes.
And who's paying for it.
Yes.
And if I'm paying for it, it should be purple.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. Gross. Sorry if I'm ruining weddings for people. So a sub-bullet to that was there's no outside influences or monsters in law.
Okay.
Just do whatever you want. Have the wedding that you want. There's also no wedding crashers.
Yeah.
It's just your own party, right?
Yep.
You can take a solo honeymoon. So some people just do better traveling alone. And it's cheaper, and that's okay.
Yes.
It's totally okay to go away by yourself for a few weeks.
Yes, I do it.
Yeah,
I do it.
Yeah, and you love it, right?
I do.
Sometimes it's hard to
I
do
don't
that
have
with
to
another
wait
person.
for somebody to, like, okay, I like to go at my own pace. And so I don't have somebody waking me up at 6 a.m. Come on, let's go. We got all this stuff to do. I can wake up at 9 or 10.
I didn't even want to do that stuff. That's your stuff that you want to do. I'm sleeping.
Yes, I can go do whatever I want and just take my time or make a schedule. Like, yes.
Figure it out when you wake up.
Yep.
Wake up, shower, have your morning
You can
Pepsi,
plan a day.
And then figure it out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I totally understand.
I love
I've had
traveling by
partners
myself.
like that too. Or like 6 a.m. I made up a list of for today. Let's go.
No.
And then, like, the morning coffee is kind of a side note on the way to whatever. No thanks.
Yeah.
No thanks. Okay. Another bullet. Marrying yourself is not legally recognized or legally binding.
Okay.
Which means you don't have to be a sologamist forever.
Right.
Okay? You're not locked into anything. But for the time being, if that's what feels right to you and you feel like you're at a time in your life where you need to appreciate yourself openly, you can do that. It's a reminder to always put yourself first.
And you won't have to pay for a divorce.
Exactly. Okay. So this is good news for UK's Sophie Tanner.
Okay.
Like piggybacking on the you don't have to be a sologamist forever. So Sophie Tanner is coined in the headlines as being the woman who married herself and then cheated on herself and then divorced herself. There's gotta be one.
I'm like, no. Now she goes and fucking ruins it. Now she's making it a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I do.
or making it into a thing. And this is why people roll their eyes and say,
oh God,
this is a dumb idea.
Narcissist.
That, yes. Oh, I cheated on my... Stop it. You're looking for attention at this point. Sorry.
Sophie Tanner made headlines when 2 years into her marriage to herself, She publicly announced that she had committed adultery with
Oh
Rory
God.
Barrett, who at the time was a polyamorist. The two of them fell in love, and then Barrett decided to try living as a monogamist in a committed relationship, which was like a first for him.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He's like, all right, I'll try it. I love this girl. So they tried it. After a few blissful months of exploring new relationship realms, Barrett became fascinated and drawn to the idea of sologamous marriage, and he decided to marry himself.
Okay.
Okay. So when this story broke headlines in 2016 in the UK, technically both of them were married and committing adultery. Both were having affairs with each other against themselves. Okay. So you have A, you were cheating on yourself with your partner, and then B, you're cheating on each other with yourselves.
Yeah.
I don't know why I love that so much. I love it. That's what you call a complicated relationship.
Oh, wow.
Like, are you two together? It's complicated.
Yeah, that's when you put it's complicated on your status on Facebook.
Oh, my God. So another sologamist adulterer, who we will call Chris Galera from Sao Paulo, Brazil, she shared her experience with Times Now News. Quote, I reached a point where I matured. I realized that I am a strong and determined woman. I was always afraid of being alone, but then I realized that I needed to learn to feel good about myself. When that happened, I decided to celebrate it. Upon posting her wedding photos all over Instagram, she captioned the album, quote, I am celebrating my self-love and I want to inspire other women to boost their self-esteem. I'm getting thousands of messages from men and women all over the world wanting to marry me. And that's such a shame because I won't soon divorce myself. 3 months later.
I wonder what soon means to her.
Time is relative.
Right.
You know? 3 months later, she met someone special. She told Daily Star, quote, I was happy while it lasted. I started to believe in love the moment that I met somebody else special. And then she divorced herself. The end!
All right. I like it. That was so good.
Oh, man.
I like it. That's, I mean, good points. Valid points. Yeah. You know, on both sides.
Yeah.
But
thank you.
I feel like if somebody wants to marry themselves, like, who are we to tell them what or what not to do?
Let them fucking do it.
Yeah.
It's not your fucking problem. All right. So,
oh, people.
Now that we know that's a thing, that's the epitome of everything that we stand for. Yeah. I love it.
All right. So, this
what do you have this week?
I told my daughter this story about something a guy did on a date, and she goes, oh, you need to tell that on your podcast. And then I found this article about people who reveal very awkward things they've been told on a first date.
Oh, okay.
So this article is pretty funny. So I'm going to read you some of the things people have been told on a first date. I will start by telling my story.
Okay. I love these.
So this was back when I was 21, single, going to this bar called the Rock and Rodeo.
Okay.
And I see this tall, dark, handsome guy dressed in his navy blues. There was a whole bunch of Navy guys there.
Oh, fun.
So sexy. A guy in uniform.
All muscular and shit.
Uh-huh.
Their little ankle tattoos.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And those white hats. Anyway. Yeah. So anyway,
we all know what you would do during role play.
Oh, yes. Uh-huh. Have you ever seen Officer and a Gentleman? I would have him carry me out while he was dressed. Anyway, okay. So we ended up dating.
Okay.
So we dated for a little while. And then I don't remember what happened, but we ended up going our separate ways. Couple years later, we ran into each other and he was like, hey, let's go out again. And I was down for it because I don't think it ended bad. I don't remember why. We just went our separate ways.
It just didn't work.
Yeah, for whatever reason. So I was at one of my friend's house. There was a bunch of us girls hanging out. And I told him to come pick me up there. So he comes over. And of course, you know, all the girls are like swooning over him because he's so cute. And he's sitting on the couch.
Tall, dark, and handsome.
He was so sexy. And first guy I ever dated with his nipples pierced.
Oh, fun.
That was sexy. Yeah. Anyway, so he's sitting on the couch and I was like, okay, we were getting ready to leave. And he puts his hand out like he wants me to help him up from the couch. And then as soon as I went to grab it, he just like put his finger out. And I, not thinking about it, yep, you know where this is going. I grab his finger and I go to pull him up and he fucking rips ass. Just fucking rips ass in front of all these girls. This is technically a first date, though.
You need to get it out of the way.
I was mortified. I didn't want to go.
I'm like, oh yeah, listen to this. Shit my pants.
I was mortified. I was like, he just did that in front of everybody. Who does that?
Oh
I was not impressed.
No? Did it smell? Do you remember?
I don't remember. He like laughed and was like, like just fucking typical stupid guy.
Yeah, of course.
If we would have been alone.
On a ship with a million other guys. Like, what do you think they do all day?
Oh my God. So that was like something dumb that happened to me on like kind of a first date, right?
We'll count it. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like a second time dating. Anyway, so that's my funny first date thing. I just don't know. Who does that? Okay, so I found this article. I mean, I guess that's one way to get it out of the way. Like,
can I tell you a side note? Can I tell you a side note story?
Yeah.
So, I think it took like a month or so for me to fart around my partner. I'm pretty sure they farted way sooner than that. I just always pretended like I didn't hear it. Or whatever, so
right? Why did we do that?
I finally farted, and it was like one of those, I had been trying to hold it the whole day. Moved wrong.
Yeah.
Made some wind, right? I did the ass clap. And they celebrated that. They're like, oh, you did it, yeah. So we're out to dinner like that day or the next day with family and friends.
Yeah.
And they grabbed me by the hand and they were like, so we've reached a milestone in our relationship. We have an announcement to make. And everybody kind of froze and was like, what? And I'm like, I farted! And we all cheers!
What? Okay, so it's like such a natural thing. Why is that a milestone?
Because it might stink and that's embarrassing.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, it is, but you know, it's natural. But yes.
It feels better out than in, I always say. Holding it in that whole time was miserable.
I want to say you waited a whole 3 days before you did it in front of me.
Yeah.
You get it. Do it.
Oh my gosh. That's true.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, no. So I got this article off the Daily Mail online, and they have a section, the female section. Mm-hmm. So it's off of that. So this person says, on a first date, the guy, this makes me so mad. The guy told me if I don't lose weight, we'll be fine. Who gave him any right to fucking comment on her body?
First date.
I almost think maybe he thought he was complimenting her.
Yeah.
Right? Like, oh, I like bigger girls or whatever.
Way.
It's so backhanded.
I'm also maybe sensing some fetish play or something or kink, which is fine. Totally. Yes. But first date.
Just don't comment on how.
Yeah, that's a woman's weight. Don't comment ever.
Just don't comment on somebody's weight.
Doesn't matter which date. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can say, you look gorgeous. You're beautiful. Yeah. Things like
love your dress.
Yes. You look amazing in that outfit. Yeah. But
a new shade of lipstick.
Right.
All
any comment on a weight, whether it's good or bad, it's just fucking rude.
Yeah.
Because it shouldn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay, this person says, while paying the bill after dinner on the first date, he said, wow, you ate more than I estimated.
Okay. I don't know how to feel.
It's so fucking rude. That is that goes back to the old age, we women should order salads.
Yeah.
on our first date, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So yesterday I was helping my sister and her neighbor came down and she was telling me how she's like, I went out to lunch by myself for the first time in forever.
Yay!
And she's like, without the kids, without her husband, she's like,
great.
I just went and sat outside. She's like, I had a beer. I got my book out.
Oh, yes.
It was a sunny day. Sitting there, and she goes, and there was one lady sitting behind me, and she says, I ordered this portobello mushroom burger.
Oh, my God. Go
so
get it,
she goes,
girl.
It was huge. It was big, but it was a mushroom, right? It wasn't like it was a half pound of beef or something.
Sure.
And then a plate of fries. And they put it in front of her, and this guy comes walking out, and he said, wow, are you all alone? Are you going to eat that whole thing?
Oh, my God. I'm mad.
Okay.
Listen,
and she
mind
goes,
your fucking business.
Who are you to fucking say anything?
Yeah.
And then he said, I really hope you have a man on his way to help you eat
Fuck
that.
you!
And she looked at him and said, I'm sorry. It's not your fucking business if I have a man on my way or not. Actually, I'm eating this thing by myself, and I'm going to eat the whole fucking thing.
Yes.
Like, told him off. She told him off.
Way to go.
She finishes it, orders a second beer.
Yes! Yes!
And starts eating the fries that are left on the plate.
What a queen.
And some fucking guy comes out and says, that was a really big sandwich. I can't believe you ate the whole thing.
Believe it, bitch. Wow, what
and
is
she's
it?
like, who? So after that guy walked off, she turned around and looked at the lady that was sitting there and said, why the fuck does anybody think they need to tell me what I need to eat?
Why do so many people care?
Right?
Wow.
Whose business? Okay, so
I really hope that didn't ruin her just going out to lunch by herself sometimes.
I know, right? Because now
gosh.
like that. It's stop commenting people on what other people eat.
Yeah,
it's just fucking rude.
Yeah.
And if a girl is by herself eating, let her celebrate that shit.
It's not flirtatious to bring up the lack of a man that's present. It's not. Right. It's annoying.
Is that your way of asking if she's married?
Yeah.
Because that was not attractive.
Right. Because that's also not an attractive thing to ask anyway. Just go about your fucking business and let him eat.
And if you want to ask her out or you're interested in her, maybe go about it a different fucking way.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah, I agree.
So, yeah, I thought I'd tell that story real quick.
Thank you.
Anyway.
I loved it.
Okay, so this girl said, he said to me on our first date, you've got big boobs, really nice ones. I cannot tell you how many comments I get on my tits. I used to be super flat-chested.
Oh, God, I'm sorry. I made a comment recently,
No,
too.
I don't care.
Okay.
I know, that was so funny. I was telling my daughter.
Amazing. Okay, anyway.
You're like, wow, where'd those come from? T-shirt. I always, you guys, listen, I live in sweatshirts. And Max goes, I don't think I've ever seen you not wear a sweatshirt. I didn't know you had titties. I don't care when, like, that kind of stuff. Listen, I do. And I have good ones. No, it's when guys are just, like, make fucking rude comments about your tits. Like it's their place to fucking say something.
Yeah.
Like, fuck off. Okay, so this one. On my very first date, he told me he was glad I'd never dated before because it was easier to tame me.
Oh my God.
She left the restaurant.
Good girl.
What the fuck?
Fuck, that's so
People
rude.
Are like,
tame the hysterical women.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Fuck that guy. I'm so mad right now.
Oh, here. No, this one's going to get you.
Okay.
So, a guy on a first date said, I'm not racist, but she goes, at that point, I grabbed my purse and walked out.
Oh, yes. Yes. Laser eyes to the ground.
You guys, listen. If you ever have to add that but,
then it's definitely
that means you're fucking racist.
Yeah. The thing that you said you weren't, you're definitely that.
Yes.
Yeah. That gets under my skin a
I
little
know.
bit.
Same.
Yeah.
This girl said a guy proposed to her on their first date once. I don't know.
Oh.
I mean.
Okay. I don't know about that.
I don't either. I don't know what to think about. I mean, was he being cute and flirty? But or was he being
context,
creepy?
Please? Have they known each other 10 years and this is their first date?
Or that was
who knows?
Okay, so this one's funny. On a first date, a guy took me to Walmart and said he needed supplies for the evening. He bought Magnum condoms.
Oh my God. What is it with the Magnum condoms? God. Listen.
They stretch, you guys.
I bet it fell the fuck off because those are unrealistic.
I know.
Hi, Munchkin.
On my first date with my ex, he told me to pay him back for the movie tickets when we were at the counter.
Wow. Okay.
I hope that first date he was an ex immediately after.
Yeah. No second date.
No. Okay, this one's awful. I was on a first date with this amazing guy. Then in the middle of dinner, he asked if I swallow.
Oh my God.
Like my dinner?
Gross. Like I did swallow the food.
Yeah. Did you not see that? I mean, it did go down. It didn't come back up.
You guys aren't swallowing?
Are we supposed to? Is this a new diet? We spit it out after we chew it?
God damn it. That is disgusting.
That's so rude. That is so rude. Has anybody ever said anything weird to you, like on a first date, you know?
No. I can't think of like a first date that was like intimate. I've had like hangouts that were casual, I guess, but never something that made me super uncomfortable, that made me want to leave.
Yeah.
Fortunately.
That's good.
I've had a lot of really awkward, like, people try to flirt with me, and that's just is the wrong way to do it. But like, I didn't date them afterwards.
Right. Okay, so this one, I went on a first date last night, and he told me to wake him up if he fell asleep. Maybe don't go on the date if you're tired. Like, if you're that tired, say, hey, I need to reschedule.
You're like in a movie theater or something?
Oh, okay, with that I get. Like, people fall asleep in the movies. Yeah. But, like, what if you're at dinner?
But just at the table.
And you just fall asleep?
Hey, listen, he's narcoleptic. Okay?
I'm like, does he have narcolepsy? Or, I mean, but what? That's just confusing.
It's odd. It's out there. Yeah.
This guy I just went on a date with told me he brought a gun just in case things went south.
Oh my God.
What?
Okay, double entendre, because south and gun rights. But also, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Where are you?
Okay, I do have one quick funny story.
Okay.
It just popped into my head, and it's kind of a first date thing. So a couple summers ago, I went to a bike run with one of my best friends, and there was this little Russian lady that she kind of put her tent next to us. She came by herself. She rode Harleys. Like, she was beautiful.
Yeah.
And
she boss-ass bitch.
Boss-ass bitch. Nice. Fucking rockin' body. She was gorgeous. And so she's like, I cannot do a good Russian accent, but she's like telling me she wants to enter the titty contest. And should she do it? And then she unzips her jacket and flashes me her boobs. And I'm like, fuck yes, you get up there.
We're like, listen, that's not even fair.
Right.
It might as well just be you.
So she does it. And then after the contest, she's flirting. And all these guys are like flirting with her and dancing and stuff. And so my best friend and I, we go back and we're almost asleep. And I hear her, she brings this guy back to her tent. And they're outside of her tent and they're like making out and stuff. And he's like trying to talk her into going into the tent. And she keeps like, no, we're just friends. I don't want to bring you in my tent. And like basically saying no, be respectful. And then he says, you don't have to worry. I brought protection. And she literally said, what? You bought the gun? Lost it. Started laughing. Like, wait, what? That's not what he meant.
That is, I love it. Oh God, I'm trying to picture it from her perspective. Like, shit, he's got a gun.
Right?
Fuck.
Right?
Fuck.
That's so, she's so cute.
Oh my God, I love it.
Vendela. She was so great.
Vendela. Oh, that's so cute.
Yes. Rob, he has Wenny, Widdy, Weechee tattooed on his leg.
Okay.
And she kept going, what is this Wenny, Widdy, Weechee? What is this Wenny, Widdy, Weechee? And he's like, I don't know what she's saying. Wenny, Widdy, Weechee. I loved her. God. She was such a good time. Okay. Next one. Just went on my first date ever. He was a man-child and told me our waitress was hot and acted like he was at a strip club.
Oh, my God. Was it also his first date ever, you think?
Right?
Yeah.
That's so fucking rude.
Oh, my God. Can't take him anywhere. It was like his first time out in the world.
And can you imagine that being your first date ever? Somebody treating you that way?
I would never date again.
No, I don't think I would either. Okay, here's my last one. This guy said he wanted me to have his babies. It was only our first date.
Oh, God.
I stopped talking to him after that. I would hope so.
Damn it. Yeah.
Like, come on. Guys, do better.
Listen.
Do better. Treat a girl with respect.
Yeah. If you think about it, that implies that her only value was to give him children.
My thing is if you would not want someone to treat your mother or your sister that way, then don't fucking treat whoever you're dating that way.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Right? Treat them with the respect you would want someone to treat your daughter with or your mother with.
Conversely, if you meet somebody that like yells at their mom a lot or is like super snarky to their family,
probably not going to be a good guy to you.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Correct.
Is it all right if I tell you an awkward date story of mine?
Yes, that's what we're here for.
Kind of a sort of, it was like a casual hangout, but I had a crush on the person who we'll call Shmalamy.
Okay.
When I lived in Washington.
Okay.
So I had a huge crush on this person, Shmalamy, for like ever. And was not sly about it because I was super immature. I was like 22 or 3 or 4. I was younger. Yeah. And like, you know, I'm saying young as in like get really drunk.
Yep.
And then use that as an excuse to like hang off their arm.
I'm literally picturing myself in a bar right now on one night.
Fall over. Right. So I like have a crush on this person, right? And we went to this bar called The Riff. And it's downtown Spokane.
Okay.
And it's this really small, hole in the wall, tiny.
Kind of like what we went to in Portland.
No. Oh. Much smaller than that. It literally is like in between 2 buildings, there's a small space that somebody like put a trailer in.
Oh, okay.
And then fenced off the back. Okay. So the goal of the Rift is like you go inside, there's barely any room because all that's in there is the bar where you get your drink, and then you go outside. And the experience is outside. And this was around legalization time in Washington. So like there'd always be pot smoke, cigarette smoke. People would bring their dogs, their Christmas lights. It was just the coolest, chillest place to hang out. You know? So I go with this person that I like, just hanging out, quote unquote. Right? Because I'm like hoping it'll be kind of a date. I just wanted to get him alone because we work together, right? Yeah. Go to the Riff. We sit down. I'm having a Pabst Blue Ribbon. I think they were having a Pabst Blue Ribbon also. We weren't doing liquor or nothing, but sat down at a table where there's this guy. It was really friendly and was already drunk and just started telling us about like the stock market and like how he and his friends like figured out this code or something and they predicted when the stock market was going to crash. And it was like going off, like off and off and off. Yeah. Years later, when I remember that, I'm like, okay, that's the plot of like The Big Short. Isn't that a plot of another movie too? Right? The Wolf on Wall Street or something.
Kinda,
So, all right, whatever. Whatever. It doesn't matter. But he had a bag of rolling tobacco. Okay. And fun fact about Max, I love rolling cigarettes. I don't smoke cigarettes anymore, but when I did, one of my favorite things to do was to roll my own. It's really great. It's like a nervous habit, you know, keep your fingers moving out really good at it. Yeah. And like, for a while, I would take public transportation when I didn't have a car. Yeah. And my whole commute, I would be just rolling cigarettes for later. So I'm like, I didn't have any either at the time. I didn't have any cigarettes. So I'm like, hey, is it all right if I roll a cigarette? And he's like, yeah, sure. Hands me the bag, roll a cigarette. They're still like, Shmalamy and this guy are still engaged about stock market stuff. They're nerding out and having a good old time. Okay. I roll the cigarette, I light it, I smoke it. I taste weed. And I'm like, fuck. I tasted just a little hint, like a shark in water. You know, they can sense like one drop of blood. I was like, shit. And then I got high. Oh, no. I accidentally got high. I could feel it like a waterfall rushing over my face. I'm like, fuck. And so I remember, like, act cool. Shut the fuck up. Drink your drink. I had to keep reminding myself to, like, look at who was talking and see where they were in the conversation. But I couldn't hear what they were saying because I felt like I was in a tunnel. Like, I couldn't hear anything. I just, their mouths were like, blah. And they looked like they were so engaged. And I was like, just sitting there, I'm just drinking my drink. I'm like, okay, when this is finished, that'll be a really good excuse to get out of here. Yeah. okay, I lost all track of time and, like, forgot that we had just sat down. I had just opened it.
It's funny how weed like, does that to you.
This almost full beer. And I'm like, they're going to see if I'm chugging it. I'm, like, stuck as fuck. Yeah. So at some point, they finish that conversation for a second. Like, there's a lull. And I turn to the person, and I'm like, it was really nice to meet you. And I stick out my hand, shakes my hand, and then I went, like, to the other side of I was like, I'm like, they're not going to notice. They're going to, the way that they were talking and just engaged and interacting, I'm like, they're not going to notice. And then when Shlammy goes to leave, they'll see me here by the door and we can just leave in it. I'm safe. I'm just getting out.
Yeah.
It happened to turn out to be, I didn't realize I moved one table over.
Oh.
And they totally saw. And they didn't say anything. And so this whole time I'm on my phone thinking I've, like, escaped an awkward situation. So.
And you're making it more awkward.
So Shlammy and I finally leave, and they're like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, no, I'm high. I'm losing my mind. A cigarette. And I'm like, I just couldn't. I had to find a way out and, like, go sit where you wouldn't notice. And they're like, everyone noticed. You were right next to us. And I'm like, shit. I thought I was far enough away. They're like, no, you were there. Like, you were right there. And I'm like. Anyway, we went to a different bar. I started to sober up like an hour later, and it was fine, but I'll never forget the time I accidentally got high.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Did you guys date after that?
No, we're still best friends, though. Okay. We never actually ended up dating or in a relationship, but we're best friends.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, they're one of the coolest people that I've ever met.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, thank you for sharing all that.
No, thank you for sharing. I love it.
Yay, thank you.
I love it when you remember your stories like that.
Right?
I don't have any. Oh, wait, hold on.
Let me check my coin purse. Do you want to do Craigslist ads?
Yeah.
Okay. I found a subreddit called Reddit Hookups.
Okay.
I don't know if it's still a thing. I think I found these that were archived. So a couple of these today are Reddit hookup posts, so not Craigslist. But this one is called 31 Male for Female, New York City. Seeking a woman who can shapeshift.
Oh. Me too.
Aren't we all really? I'd like to meet a woman who has the ability to shapeshift into a variety of forms. Not a role player, a real shapeshifter.
Yeah.
Extra limbs, especially legs, are hot. I love the human tower and centaur forms, so let me know if you're able to do any of those. I will keep your secret, and this will stay between us. Listen, if you find one, let me know.
Same.
I would love some follow-up.
I wonder how many responses he got.
I'm picturing somebody, like, sending a selfie of them in a crab costume or something. Or like a squid costume.
Or just the back end of a zebra costume.
Listen, dude, if you're listening, let us know.
Yeah.
Okay, here's one. 51, male for female, Louisville, America. Warmth and debauchery with a side of fondling and ketchup. Okay. I seek warmth, a loving touch, and a nice cup of debauchery. I'm vaccinated ×2 Pfizer. I'm 5'9", 220 pounds, dad bod galore. Wrinkles and chub are experience and mileage. Willing to travel for this. His dates were the day after Christmas through December 31st. I'm willing to travel a few hours each way is okay. But reading Google Maps to get to Ljubljana is not. Which I think is in Romania or Greenland or something.
Okay.
So, not America.
Right.
My apologies if you do live in Ljubljana. Maybe we can meet in the middle, somewhere like a couple hours from here. My likes. Mutual satisfaction, exploration, in, out, up, the correct answer to hello there, down, top, bottom, give, receive, the code for the air shield on Druidia, wet snuggles, dry snuggles, please, dear God, tell me what's in the box. Caresses. Pinches. Noms. What is the first of the two classic blunders? Bites. Teeth. Tongues. Entertaining. Unwrapping. Who's Kaiser Soze? Fronts, backs, bottoms. Okay. He likes a lot of things.
Yeah. Like a little bit of everything, it sounds like.
Yeah. There are things in there I've never heard of, which I think would be a really awesome icebreaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give them the opportunity to tell you things that they like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's dislikes.
Okay.
Bodily functions. I'm out.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm going to fart on the first date.
We all have them.
Blood. Gore. Bondage. I'm a little claustrophobic, but I don't mind if somebody smothers me in the rear end.
Oh, okay.
Or lets me wear their butt for a hat.
Okay.
Okay. Butt hat.
Ah.
I'm okay if you're into those things, and I will attempt to adjust accordingly, but I can't make any promises. Verification of existence is needed. That's fair. Send me a verification positive pic, and I'll send you one right back. Or a little bit later if I'm in the bathroom or assembling tacos. Love it.
That was a good one.
That's a fun one. This one is a Craigslist one. And I chose it mostly because there's a typo, and I love that.
The typo makes it.
Yeah. Human cat for ad potion.
What?
So it should have said human cat for adoption, but it says human cat for ad potion. Friendly human cat for ad potion. I will crawl around your house and do cat-like things in exchange for only cat food, water, a litter box, occasional treats. Mm-mm. Cats are more of a hassle than human cats. If you're looking to adopt a cat and have been researching the matter, you already know what I mean. There's less research to be done on human cats, so let a friendly little fellow into your house today and be one of the first to spearhead a fledgling community. I will not speak or do anything human-like, only cat-like. I look out windows, I become enthralled with small objects, I run across the house in the middle of the night and make a terrifying sound in the corner, I'll nuzzle you with my head, etc. You must take care of me as you would a cat. Email me for details.
Okay. That's a lot.
Yeah.
I don't want a human cat in a litter box.
I don't want a person running around my house on all fours in the darkness. Listen, I don't even want to hear what his purring sounds like. It'd be like, oh my god, have you ever seen those naked cats? Yes. They're like fucking gargoyles. Yes. It's like snuggling a ball sack.
Yes.
Listen.
Oh god.
I don't want a cat or a naked cat or a human cat.
No.
Which is essentially a giant naked cat.
Yes.
Ew. Well, hun, I hope you found your ad potion family.
Yeah.
I hope you're ad potioned. Ad posted. Okay. This one. Okay. There's no title. Hi. I'm going through a difficult breakup, and I impulsively adopted 16 different types of reptiles over Craigslist. I've made a huge mistake.
Yeah.
My roommates are furious.
Yeah.
I have one ball python, 7 various geckos, a bearded dragon, 2 red slider turtles. All of their names are Amanda. Oh my god. I think that's it. That's all I got. Oh yeah, that was the last one for today.
I love those.
Amanda,
oh gosh,
turtle.
Those are so funny.
Python.
Amanda. Amanda.
Duh.
Okay. I have a couple good ads. This one. Yep, there it is. This was one that actually sent me a like.
Shit. I've got a live one.
His name's Steady.
Okay.
38.
Steady. Like Teddy with an S.
Yes. But there's a TD in there too. So okay, yeah. Okay, that's Steady.
Okay.
He's standing at a weed farm.
I like the foliage.
I pictured this like with a complete hillbilly accent.
Okay.
I'm a hard-working carpenter and a dad of 2 boys that are studs. Look just like they daddy.
Okay.
That's it. Just like they daddy.
Just like they daddy. And my pappy's pappy.
Or what?
But you could have just said something like, I love my kids. They're the best. And
listen,
they're really
Steady,
cute.
I'm going to post this picture. Mm-hmm. You're not a stud. You're just not. That beard needs some trimming.
Listen, I like the foliage, though.
Yes.
It's a really nice house
like
plant.
To trim.
Yeah. Yeah, I could trim them both. 2 birds, 1 stone.
Yes. Okay, so this one is Brittany. She is 25. She's beautiful. Her ad says, and I kind of relate to her. Congratulations. You've stumbled across my profile.
Yay!
Which means you have excellent taste.
Oh my God, I do.
And you're going to meet your future wife.
Yay! I feel so lucky.
But it won't be me.
Oh.
Why? Because I'm the one before the one.
Oh.
We'll exchange some texts and go on a few great dates, and then bam, you'll meet your future missus. I don't know why or how. However, I've been bestowed this gift of being an involuntary matchmaker without ever meeting the other person that I set you up with. Cheers.
Cheers. Wow.
Poor
we need
Brittany.
more people like you, Brittany.
I know.
Listen,
you know
it's
what?
a blessing and a curse.
That's right.
It's your public service.
Yep. She owns it.
Yes. Owns it.
Yep.
So if I get it now. Congratulations. You're about to find your one.
Yep. But it is not me. Poor Brittany. Okay.
Always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
This is Alana. She's 25. I've basically given up on Tinder, but if you know how to fix the thermostat on my electric radiator, give me a super like and I'll like you back. If you can fix it, I'll go on one date with you as a thanks. I have a set of screwdrivers you can use. This isn't a joke.
I love it.
This isn't a joke.
Listen, I get it.
I hope she got her thermostat fixed.
Way to go, girl.
Right?
Yeah. Sometimes you need another person, but you don't need another person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, what are you going to do when you have to move a dresser?
Yep.
Listen, I love that.
Yeah. I liked it. And I'm going to end with another person that liked me. I think this was the Facebook.
Another live one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Facebook dating. And this says he's a lucky pick.
Oh, awesome.
Okay.
Feeling the luck today.
Yep. Cliff, 48.
Okay.
I was like, oh, he's not that bad.
Hey, Cliff.
He's kind of my type.
Yeah.
Looking to meet a good woman and like someone to draw on my back.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I get that.
Yeah.
Also, most men are not attracted to women that do a lot of manly stuff.
Oh.
Sort of a turnoff for me anyways. That's considered butchy.
Oh, my God.
Cliff, you're a dick.
Yeah, I mean,
fuck off.
It's not all the way wrong. It's just rude to say it like that.
Well, yeah.
Listen.
That's what you choose to say as your fucking bio.
You're telling
me.
Save
that for later.
You wouldn't be impressed if I could fix my own car.
Change my tire.
Give me a fucking break, Cliff.
Yeah. You almost had a yes from me, Cliff, and then you fucking said that.
Yeah.
I'm posting your picture right too. So yeah, those are mine.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hats off to the girl, the matchmaker.
I know, right?
Yeah.
She owns it.
Owns it. I love that.
So yeah, what is your self-care this week?
Oh my God.
Friday.
All I did was care for myself.
Yay.
So I finished my book.
Me too.
Body Keeps the Score. And then I started a book called How to Be an Adult in Relationships, The 5 Keys to Mindful Loving.
Oh, I like that.
It's amazing.
I'll have to borrow
really is. Yeah. I don't know. I'm like going through this weird like psychology phase, I guess. I'm not even interested in psychology. Maybe it's the self-help books that I like.
I got on the self-help kick for a while too.
Yeah.
There's one. It's actually, I would highly recommend it to you.
Okay.
It's a self-help book and a story.
Oh, okay.
And it's called
I like those.
My Second Life Begins When I Realize I Only Have One. Or something like that. It's a cute story. But I finished my book, Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil.
Oh, how'd it go?
It was good.
It was good?
Yeah.
Was it scary?
No.
No scary?
No.
Well,
it wasn't scary.
What was in the Garden
It was
of Good and
based on
Evil?
a true story about this journalist that he had gone on a vacation to Savannah, Georgia in the 80s.
Okay.
And then he just kind of fell in love with it and the culture. And then he got to know like all these really super quirky characters. And there was a murder mystery in it.
Oh,
there's a little bit of voodoo in
Ooh.
it. And there's like the rich Savannah party people. And there's there was a drag queen in it that oh God, what was her name? She was named after a wine. It was a good book. It had a little bit of everything, and then it was based on a true story. So
okay, that's cool.
it was good.
Yeah.
It was a good recommendation. Thank you, Taylor.
Yeah, nice. Thanks, Taylor.
Yeah.
You're the best.
So yeah, that was another thing that I did this week. But I'm going to say that my treat thyself was the concert Friday night with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was fun.
My treat thyself started with when I got off work late, like Wednesday or something, pretty late. It was like almost 8. And my mom texts me.
Yes.
And she's like, hey, baby, what a long day. Do you want some spaghetti? I made spaghetti.
Oh.
It's like, I don't know if I've explained this, but my mom and I are 3 doors away from each other, neighbors.
Yes.
Yeah, so she brings me this big old fucking family-style Italian plate of spaghetti.
Yeah.
I took it straight to the bath.
Yep. I got the picture. I'll post it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, my God. So that was the bath dinner for that night. Big old plate of spaghetti. And then the concert. And then the friend's birthday night, and then Jackass. I've done more self-care. I know, it's been a crazy weekend. Like, amazing. Yeah. It's been an amazing weekend.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We need those.
Thankful. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fucking so tired.
I know. Same. I'm so ready for, I need to go to the coast or something for a week.
Yeah. You do. You need some rest.
Or just a couple days. I won't be selfish. So, if you guys want to write in, tell us your stories. Send us some of your profiles that you guys run across.
Get a free sticker.
Yeah. And we've got new ones coming out, too. Join our Patreon, and we'll send you a cute little gift package.
Speaking of which, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/whateverijdm.
And you can send us your stories. You can send them through Instagram, the messaging thing on Instagram, or through our Gmail. So Instagram, you can find us at whateverijdm. Send your stories to Gmail, whateverijdm@gmail.com.
We're also on Twitter. Just search at whateverijdm. And we also have our Buzzsprout website, https://whateverijdmpodcast.buzzsprout.com.
Whoop, whoop.
Woo! Also, Patreon tiers starting at $2 a month.
Yes. And even those ones will get
support.
And we'll send you a cute little gift.
Yeah.
So, thanks for joining us this week.
Yeah.
We hope that you guys are okay with our podcast being released on Tuesdays now.
I mean, they'll let us know if they're not. Yeah. We'll get hate mail.
I'm sure.
It's part of the job, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll take the hate mail. Any mail at all.
Anything.
So, have a good night, you guys.
Oh, gosh. Listen, when I think about some of those profiles that you share, I'm like, God damn it. Is that what we have to look forward to? Right? And if it is, then whatever.
I'll
just
date
myself.
Yay!
Yay! Bye, everybody.
Bye.